He had so many plans, all of a sudden, he went to Shoreditch. Found a lady, got pregnant. She didn't even give birth to one child, not two. She gave birth to triplets. Before you know it, demands increased. It's your boy, Mr. CV. I'm back, and I'm back with something different. I'm back with my guy. Obviously, we've got another topic for you. There's no one else to dissect this topic.
Dr. Miles.
I was working the construction site.
Okay.
And obviously I was chatting to one of the guys, and he's a labourer. He said to me, as I was working another site, one of the labourers, he's been working there for 20 years. And he said that he can't associate himself with someone that's been working for 20 years as a labourer, but hasn't progressed himself.
Ooh.
But this is the plot twist. The guy that says he can't associate himself with this guy that's been working as a labourer for 20 years. He went to school for 4 years, but he's failed every single year. But when he grabs a shovel, you know, like, it might be his destiny. The point is it important or is it necessary to progress yourself in the workplace that you've been at?
I watched one video on YouTube, I forgot the exact title of the video, but the CEO of a company called Manpower in the US, I believe it was the chief exec, and he was talking about the nature of the workplace and the nature of, you know, job fluidity and movement in the modern world. And he was saying that now people stay in the same job for an average of 3 years.
Wow.
Like millennials, we tend to shift around a lot. We get to this place, you've been there 2 years, I've been here too long, I need to shift somewhere else. We are into instant gratification. If we don't feel like we're reaching the top of something when we've only been there for like a year or 2 or 3, then we'll be feeling like we need to skedaddle, we need to go.
In saying that, someone actually said to me that you progress quicker when you're moving from jobs to job. The reason is because the skills and progression you need to progress. If you stay in one place, they look at it like, oh, don't really need you in terms of that progression place, because they've already got someone there that has the same level of skills and qualities as you. But if you attain the skills and quality that you need in one workplace and you go and apply it somewhere else, they'll respect you more and give you a higher role to be able to push forward.
I won't even say respect, that's quite subjective. I think probably what you mean is value. That comes more over time, I would say, as compared to someone's CV from maybe 30, 40 years ago, if they were even CVs at that time, I don't even know. Those were the days where somebody would be in the same company for 17 to 25 years. My mum has been with the same company for over 25 years. What an employer sees today, when they see, and especially if you're not a contractor, you're just someone that works full time, if they see that you were here for 1 year or you were here for 8 months and then you moved on to something else, you were there for 2 years and you moved on to something else, especially if it's an older, more experienced person looking at your CV, they're going to be like,
why is this person always moving?
Why do they keep jumping? Think about it like this, relationships. Bear in mind these days, it's not even about situationships now. If you could see somebody's relationship CV and you realize that, right, they were there for 3 months, they did this over here for 6 months, they were there for about 2 weeks, they went in and did a 1-day contract over there, would you be saying to yourself that this is the kind of person that I want to be joined to? Those of us that tend to move around a lot, we're looking at it from our point of view, but we're not looking at it from the company's point of view.
Well, what about this guy that's been in the same labour work for 20 years and hasn't really progressed? For me, this was my opinion to the guy. I said to him, at least have a conversation with him to find out what was the reason why he stayed in that job for 20 years. Not everyone wants to progress. And I think sometimes we find that hard to accept that some people just don't want to progress in their job. In the sense that some people are just happy where they're at.
I believe everybody wants to do better in life, even if it's just earning more money for your family. But the young people of today are quite different from the young people of 20 years ago. Especially in the sense that 20 years ago, this kind of technology that we have wasn't around. We have become a society of instant movement.
So is that guy in that job for 20 years, is that a good thing? Like,
Some people, as you said, they're not very ambitious. I've met guys like that. But some people, they've gone through things.
That's exactly what.
I've gone through things where, you know, I haven't given my best and I've seen that it's held me back. So everyone has gone through something, not to be an excuse, but people go through things and it holds them back. And they realize, you know what, either I move ahead or I stay where I am.
Yeah.
But what do you think about a guy that's in the same place for 20
For me,
years? Wait, hold on. Not the same company for 20 years. The same level for 20 years.
It depends on you as an individual. We find it weird that people are happy where they are. And sometimes, someone actually said this, it's not even about the money sometimes, it's about your happiness. And I think sometimes we forget our happiness because of the money. But another thing as well, we need to realize, the more responsibilities you have, the more mental pressure you start to deal with. A lot of people don't look at those stress or mental pressure, they just look at the money and then take it, then it starts to crumble.
But then again, now you kind of have to weigh up. Do you want the mental stress of not being able to fully provide? Or do you want the mental stress of being able to provide but being in high demand at work? You have to pick your poison now.
I don't want to say he's ignorant of that guy, but for me, at least have a conversation with the person to find out what was the reason why. And obviously, only that person will be able to give you his reasons. And two, I believe you learn more from unsuccessful people than successful people. The reason is because at least unsuccessful people, you can see how they're like. If they're not pushing themselves enough, you might be able to think, oh, right, I don't want to do that. But when someone is highly successful, sometimes they're not able to pinpoint where they actually gain that success. This is an opportunity for you to learn from that person. And I think the guy is missing an opportunity to learn, in the sense that whatever the guy's been through and the reason why he hasn't progressed, he might look at it and think, I don't want to follow the same pathway. I don't want to follow that same way. So for that reason,